Assalamualaikum and good day to Mr. Saiful Adli and my fellow classmates. Before we start our presentation, let me introduce myself and my group members. My name is Intan Najwa binti Mar Hussein and the other group members are Siti Khalilah binti Zulkarnain and Unku Nur Hairunisa binti Unku Ahmad Daniel. For today's presentation, we will talk about the socio-cultural diversity, implications for education, and role of teachers. In today's increasingly diverse world, sociocultural diversity plays a very important role in shaping education. Schools are filled with students from various cultural, ethnic, and linguistic backgrounds, each bringing unique perspectives and experiences. Understanding and embracing this diversity is essential for creating inclusive learning environments that foster mutual respect, equity, and academic success. This presentation today will explore the implications of sociocultural diversity in education, highlighting both its benefits and challenges. It also examines the role of teachers, educational policies, and effective teaching strategies in promoting multicultural learning. While implementing inclusive practices, educators can help students develop the skills and awareness needed to thrive in a globalized society. So, without any delay, let's start with the first slide. Thank you. Okay, for this slide, I will talk about the definition of sociocultural diversity and the importance of understanding cultural differences in education. Sociocultural diversity refers to the wide range of cultural, ethnic, linguistic, traditional, and social differences that exist among individuals within a society. It encompasses the various ways in which people experience and express their identities based on their heritage, beliefs, and social practices. In an educational or community setting, sociocultural diversity means that individuals bring unique perspectives shaped by their backgrounds. These differences can be seen in aspects such as language, customs, religious beliefs, social behaviors, and historical influences. For example, students in the classroom may speak different language at home, celebrate different holidays, or follow distinct moral and ethical values based on their cultures. This diversity enrich interactions by fostering mutual understanding, respect, and collaboration among individuals. It encourages people to acknowledge and appreciate differences rather than see them as barriers. Social cultural diversity also plays a crucial role in shaping identity, as individuals define themselves through their cultural and social experiences. In today's world, recognizing and embracing sociocultural diversity is essential for building inclusive communities. It promotes social harmony, reduces discrimination, and prepares individuals to navigate global interactions with cultural awareness and respect. Okay, now let's move on to the importance of understanding cultural differences in education. So, why this understanding cultural differences is important in education? Because it is the like essential, yeah, for creating a supportive and effective learning environment. As classrooms become more diverse, acknowledging and respecting students' cultural backgrounds ensures that every learner has an equal opportunity to succeed. Below are the key reasons why cultural awareness is crucial in education. Number one, to help create an inclusive and respectful learning environment. When educators recognize and respect cultural differences, they foster a classroom atmosphere where all students feel valued and accepted. Inclusion means ensuring that students from different backgrounds do not feel isolated or discriminated against due to their ethnicity, language, or traditions. A respectful learning environment allows students to express their identities without fear of judgment, which enhance their confidence and participation in academic activities. This inclusivity also reduces stereotypes and prejudice, promoting harmony among students. Number two is to allow teachers to adapt their teaching styles to meet diverse students' needs. Students from different cultural backgrounds may have varying learning styles, communication preferences, and prior educational experiences. So understanding these differences enables teachers to modify their instructional methods, making lessons more accessible and engaging for all learners. For example, students who speak English as a second language may need additional language support, while others may benefit from visual or hands-on learning approaches. So, by adopting a flexible teaching strategies, educators can ensure that every student has the best chance of academic success. The third one is to encourage students to appreciate and respect different cultures. So, the exposure to diverse cultural perspectives helps students develop empathy and respect for people from different backgrounds. Schools can integrate cultural awareness into the curriculum by including multicultural literature, history, and global perspectives in lessons. Encouraging students to share their own cultural experiences is also promotes understanding and appreciation of different traditions. This helps to break down stereotypes, reduce discrimination, and fosters meaningful cross-cultural relationships among students. And last one is to prepare students for a globalized world where cross-cultural interactions are common. In an increasingly interconnected world, students will encounter people from diverse backgrounds in their future workplace and social environments. So, understanding different cultural values, communication styles, and traditions equips them with the skills needed to work effectively in multicultural settings. So, cultural competence enhance problem solving, adaptability, and teamwork, making students more prepared for global opportunities. By learning to navigate cultural differences early in life, students become more open minded and capable of thriving in diverse environments. Thank you. Okay, next is the elements of social cultural diversity. So, social cultural diversity is composed of various elements that define and distinguish different groups of people within a society. These elements shape individuals' identities, interactions, and perspectives. Understanding these aspects helps to create inclusive and respectful environments, particularly in education. So, below is a deeper explanation of the key elements of sociocultural diversity. The first one is the culture, the way of life, beliefs, and custom of a group of people. So, culture encompasses the shared values, traditions, beliefs, behaviors, and artifacts of a particular group of people. It influences how individuals think, communicate, and interact with one another. Culture shapes everything from food, clothing, and music to social structures and world views. In an educational setting, students from diverse cultural backgrounds may have different learning preferences, expectations, and attitudes toward authority. Recognizing and respecting these cultural differences ensures that all students feel included and valued. Number two is the ethnicity, which is a person's identity based on their ancestry, heritage, or nationality. So, ethnicity refers to a person's cultural identity, often linked to their ancestral background, nationality, and historical heritage. It includes shared traditions, languages, and sometimes religious practices that have been passed down through generations. So, ethnic diversity enrich a community by bringing various perspectives and experiences. In schools, understanding ethnicity helps educators create a more inclusive curriculum that acknowledge diverse histories and contributions, preventing marginalization and promoting equity. The third one is language, which is the different languages spoken by students, which affect communication and learning. As we all know, language is a fundamental element of sociocultural diversity, as it is the primary means of communication and expression. In diverse educational environments, students may speak different native languages, which can impact their ability to learn and participate in classroom activities. Multilingualism can be an asset, but it also presents challenges when language barriers exist. Schools that embrace language diversity can implement bilingual programs, translation support, and culturally responsive teaching strategies to help all students succeed. And Next is the traditions, which is the celebrations, rituals, and customs passed down through generations. So, traditions are the customs, practices, and celebrations that communities pass down from one generation to another. This may include religious holidays and national festivals, rites of passage, and other cultural ceremonies. In diverse classrooms, students may observe a different tradition such as Diwali, Chinese New Year, Ramadan, Christmas, or indigenous ceremonies. So, recognizing and celebrating these traditions in schools fosters a sense of belonging and respect for different cultural backgrounds. And the last one is social norms, which is to accepted behaviors and values in different societies that influence interactions. So, social norms are the unwritten rules and expectations that govern behavior within a society. They dictate how individuals should act, communicate, and interact with others. So, social norms vary between cultures. What is considered polite or respectful in one society may be different in another. For instance, in some cultures, direct eye contact is a sign of confidence, yeah, while in others it may be considered disrespectful. So, understanding social norms helps educators and students avoid misunderstandings and promotes a smoother social interactions in diverse environments. Next, we can take a look at the examples of diverse classroom settings promoting social cultural diversity and education social and education. So, sociocultural diversity in the classroom provides an opportunity for students from various backgrounds to learn together while appreciating and respecting different cultures, language, and traditions. Schools that embrace diversity create a more inclusive and enriching educational experience for all students. So, below is a deeper explanation of how sociocultural diversity is reflected in education through language, cultural celebrations, religious inclusivity, and multicultural teaching materials. Number one is a classroom where students speak multiple language, requiring bilingual education. So, in diverse classrooms, students often come from different linguistic backgrounds, making bilingual or multilingual education essential for effective learning. Language diversity can be both a challenge and an asset. Schools that implement bilingual education programs help students who are non-native speakers to develop proficiency in the primary language of instruction while maintaining their native language. So this approach enhances cognitive development, improve communication skills, and strengthen cultural identity. Additionally, exposing all students to multiple languages fosters greater appreciation for linguistic diversity and prepares them for a globalized world. The second one is a school that celebrates various cultural festivals like Chinese New Year, Diwali, or Thanksgiving. So, celebrating different cultural festivals in schools helps students learn about and appreciate various traditions, fostering respect and inclusivity. Events like Chinese New Year, Diwali, Eid, Thanksgiving, and other cultural celebrations allow students to share their heritage with peers, breaking stereotypes and creating a sense of belonging. Yeah. So these celebrations can include storytelling, music, dance, traditional attire, and food, providing hands-on learning experiences. By recognizing diverse traditions, schools promote cultural awareness and encourage students to respect and value differences. The third one is learning environment where students have different religious beliefs but study together with respect. So, a diverse classroom often includes students who follow different religions such as Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, or many others faiths. Schools that foster respect for religious diversity ensures that all students feel comfortable expressing their beliefs while maintaining a sense of unity. So this can be achieved by creating neutral learning space where discussions about religions are approach with sensitivity, allowing students to share their perspectives without discrimination. So schools may also accommodate religious practices by providing flexible schedules for prayer, dietary options, and education about different belief systems. So promoting mutual respect helps to reduce religious intolerance, and it prepares students to engage respectfully with people from diverse backgrounds. And the fourth one is the teachers using multicultural teaching materials to ensure inclusivity for all students. So, using multicultural teaching materials helps educators provide a more inclusive curriculum that reflects diverse perspectives and histories. Traditional educational materials often focus on dominant cultures, leaving out important contributions from marginalized groups. Multicultural education includes literature, historical accounts, scientific achievement, and artistic works from different cultures and ethnicity. So, incorporating diverse voices into the curriculum helps students develop a broader worldview, challenges stereotypes, and ensures that all students see themselves represented in their education. So, teachers can also use culturally relevant example to make learning more relatable for students from different backgrounds. Okay, next we will take a look at the benefits of sociocultural diversity in education. So, sociocultural diversity in education offers numerous advantages for both students and teachers. It fosters an inclusive learning environment, enhances critical thinking skills, and provides a valuable multicultural learning experiences. By embracing diversity, schools prepare students for a globalized world where they will interact with people from different backgrounds. Now, I will give a deeper explanation of the key benefits of sociocultural diversity in education. The first one is promotes inclusivity and mutual respect. So, diverse classroom helps students develop respect and acceptance for people from various cultural, linguistic, and social backgrounds. When students interact with peers who have different traditions, beliefs, and perspectives, they learn to appreciate diversity rather than fear it. This exposure reduces prejudice and fosters an inclusive mindset, ensuring that every student feel valued and respected. Creating an inclusive learning environment also boosts students' self-esteem as they see their cultures acknowledged and represented in school. Teachers who incorporate culturally responsive teaching strategies help bridge differences and encourage collaboration. As the students work on together on projects, discussion, or maybe group activities, they can develop social skills that enable them to communicate effectively and build meaningful relationships with people from all walks of life. Number two is to enhances critical thinking and problem solving skills. Exposure to diverse perspectives challenges a student to think critically and consider different viewpoints when analyzing problems. When students encounter opinions, traditions, or ways of thinking different from their own, they must evaluate information objectively, question assumptions, and broaden their understanding. This process helps them to develop the ability to think independently and make well informed decisions. In real world situations, individuals must navigate cultural differences in workplace, communities, and social interactions. So, students who have been exposed to social cultural diversity in school are better equipped to adapt, negotiate, and resolve conflicts effectively. They learn that problems often have multiple solutions depending on cultural perspectives, which enhance their problem solving abilities. This skill is particularly valuable in professional settings where teamwork and collaboration with diverse groups are essential for success. The third one is encourage multicultural learning experiences. So, a diverse educational environment provides students with the opportunity to learn about different cultures, language, and traditions. This exposure broadens their language and helps them develop a more global outlook. When students engage with peers from various backgrounds, they become more open minded and curious about the world beyond their immediate communities. Yeah. So teachers can enhance these learning experiences by integrating multicultural content into their lessons. For example, literature classes can include books from diverse authors. History lessons can explore different cultural narratives, and language classes can introduce students to multiple languages. Maybe some students are interested to learn about other culture language. Why not, right? Sometimes we do that in classroom. So these approaches make learning more engaging, relevant, and meaningful. By encouraging multicultural learning experiences, schools prepare students to become global citizens who can navigate a diverse environments with confidence and understanding. They develop the empathy, cultural awareness, and the ability to interact respectfully with people from different backgrounds. So, this is the skills that are essential in today's interconnected world. Thank you. Now let's move on to the next slide, which is the challenges of sociocultural diversity in education. While sociocultural diversity in education provides many benefits, it also presents challenges and that schools must address to create an inclusive and effective learning environment. Language barriers, different learning styles, and social integration issues can impact students' academic performance and social experiences. Understanding these challenges helps educators to develop strategies to support all learners. The first one is language barriers. One of the most significant challenges in diverse classroom is language differences. Students who do not speak the primary language of instruction may struggle to understand lessons, express themselves clearly, or participate in class discussions. This can lead to frustration, a lower academic performance, and social isolation. Teachers also face difficulties when trying to accommodate multilingual students, as they must ensure that all students can grasp the curriculum while maintaining a balanced learning pace. Some strategies to address language barriers are including using visual aids, gestures, and simplified language to enhance understanding, incorporating bilingual support such as translation tools or peer language mentors, encouraging language development through interactive activities like storytelling, group discussions, and multimedia resources. By addressing language barriers, schools can create a more inclusive learning environment where students feel confident and engaged in their education. The second one is different learning styles and educational expectations. Students from diverse cultural backgrounds often have varying learning styles and expectations regarding education. Some cultures emphasize memorization and structured learning, while others encourage creativity, discussion, and critical thinking. Additionally, students may have different preferences for how they absorb information. Some may be visual learners, others may be auditory, and some may learn best through hands on activities. Teachers must be flexible in their instructional approaches to accommodate these differences. This includes implementing a differentiated instruction where lessons incorporate various teaching methods to cater to different learning styles, encouraging a mix of individual, group, and experiential learning activities to engage all students, understanding cultural expectations regarding student teacher relationships, participation styles, and assessment methods. Adapting teaching methods ensures that students from all backgrounds have an equal opportunity to succeed in the classroom. The third one is social integration and equity issues. Cultural differences can sometimes create challenges in social integration, as students may feel isolated or struggle to fit in with peers. Discrimination, stereotypes, or lack of cultural understanding can lead to exclusion, bullying, or misunderstandings. Schools must take proactive steps to foster social cohesion and ensure every student feels valued. Additionally, equity issues arise when students do not have equal access to educational resources. Some students may face barriers due to socioeconomic status, limited access to technology, or lack of additional academic support. Addressing these issues involve promoting cultural exchange program and group activities to encourage friendships among students from different backgrounds, implementing anti bullying and diversity training programs to create a more accepting school culture, providing equitable access to learning materials, technology, and support service to ensure all students have the resources they need to succeed. So, by prioritizing inclusivity and fairness, schools can create a supportive learning environment where all students, regardless of background, have equal opportunities to thrive. Okay, that's all for my part. My friends will continue with the next part of this presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. I beat too sadly. I'm Nisa and I will continue with the presentations. Now let's go about the next element, which is the implications of the diverse teaching methods. Now, diversity in education requires teachers to adopt flexible and inclusive teaching methods that actually address students' varying learning styles, cultural backgrounds, and experiences. I'm going to go more on details on how diversity can influence its teaching methods. So the first one is there's the need for differentiated instructions. What does it mean with the need for differentiated instructions? So we are aware that students have different learning styles, abilities, and paces of understanding. So, which make differentiated instructions a key strategy in the diverse classroom. We know that some students they learn best through visual aids, for example, like charts or videos, while some prefer more of a hands-on activities such as discussions or reading materials. So it's important for us teachers to incorporate multiple instructional strategies to accommodate to these differences. And then differentiated instructions can ensure that every student can actually engage with the lessons, which actually will lead them to improve their confidence and their academic success. For example, when teaching a historical event or historical subject, teacher may use a combinations of storytelling, documentaries, or even group discussions in order to cater to the various learning preferences. And by implementing differentiated instructions, teachers can create an environment learning environment that whereby students are valued, okay, and caters to their learning needs. Second one is addressing students varied backgrounds and experiences. So a culturally diverse classroom may consist of students from different ethnic religions or even a socio-economic backgrounds. So in order to create an inclusive and welcoming learning environment, it's important for teachers to acknowledge and respect these differences. Now, how are we going to do that? So it's important for us to use educational materials that actually reflect the diverse cultural backgrounds of the students. For example, during classes or English class, maybe we can bring literature, for example, bring in folk tales of our Orang Asli kids like myself. My students are consist of Orang Asli, so I'm probably going to bring some of their folk tales to bring for open discussion for them. So, by doing that, students can also share their personal experience and cultural perspective of the activity. And this is not only enriches classroom conversations, but it also can help our students to develop more of the empathy and cross-cultural understanding. Not only that, I would also create a classroom or learning environment that is safe, whereby our student will feel more valued, seen, and respected. Okay, okay, moving on. So activities such as collaborative group work and cultural exchange project can also be done, which can eventually foster a sense of community among our students. Now, so by addressing students' diverse backgrounds, teachers can create a learning space where all students feel seen, included, and also respected. The next one is on incorporating a multicultural perspective in the curriculum. So a diverse curriculum that includes multicultural perspective helps our students to develop a broader understanding of the world, meaning the worldview of the world will be more broad. Okay, so teacher can incorporate different cultural narrative from different continents of the world, okay, not necessarily limit to their own community. So teacher can use incorporate maybe teaching methods like storytelling, role playing, or even activities that involve real world case studies from different cultures. All right. So by actually doing this, as mentioned, students will have their worldview of the world be more broad and they can see it from a different perspective. Okay. So, okay, by integrating, teachers can also prepare students for globalized world, as I mentioned, so they interact with people from the diverse backgrounds. In conclusions, diversity in education significantly impacts teaching methods, requiring educators to adopt differentiated instructions, acknowledge students' varied backgrounds, and incorporate multicultural perspective into the curriculum. Now, these strategies can create inclusive, engaging, and respectful learning environment whereby students feel valued and empowered to succeed in education. All right, moving on. Let's continue with the discussions on the next topic, which is the inclusive education's policy. First of all, let's discuss on why these policies matter. So these policies, the inclusive policies, it can actually ensure that all students, regardless of their backgrounds, have or receive equal access to educations. It can actually promote fairness, respect, and inclusions while preventing discriminations and fostering a supportive learning space among our students. Now, let's take a look of some of the key examples of the inclusive educational policy. The first one, we do have the language support programs. Now, the language support programs, so they actually helps our students who are not fluent in the primary language of the language instructions by providing bilingual educations or language assistance to students. And the second one, we do have the cultural inclusions programs, which celebrate the diverse cultural events to promote understanding and respect. So we do have the celebrations of the Hari Raya for Muslims, and we have Diwali and Chinese New Year. So all these culturally based events that are celebrated in school can actually helps or to promote more of the inclusive policy in educations. Okay, moving on. Let's go about the third point, which is we also have the anti-bullying policy, which ensures that students are protected from any discriminations based on their culture, ethnicity, or language. And the fourth one, we do have the equal access to resources, which guarantees that all students, regardless of the background, economic, social, economic backgrounds, they can receive the same opportunities as the rest of the students. Now let's look on the role of the educational institutions in implementations of the inclusive policy. So first of all, schools play a crucial role in implementing all this policy. So they must ensure that these policies are followed in classroom and activities at school. So teachers and staff, they should be trained properly in order to foster a more inclusive learning space among the students. Schools should also encourage students and communities to participate actively in the diversity initiative as encouraged by the government. So, in summary, inclusive educational policies are key to ensuring that every student have the equal opportunity and supportive learning experience. By implementing all these policies, we can create a more learning or safe space environment where all the students can thrive and eventually gets better in their education journey. All right, now that we have covered the inclusive educational policy, let's move on to another crucial element, which is the role of teachers in managing social cultural diversity. Now, how are we teachers going to manage social cultural diversity? First of all, it's really important for us teachers to create an inclusive and welcoming classroom environment. So, teacher plays a key role in making every student feel valued and respected. Now, a safe and friendly classroom can help our students to feel more comfortable in expressing themselves. Okay, and the second point is that one of the effective way to promote inclusivity is by encouraging open discussions and cultural exchange. So what we can do as teachers is that we can invite our students to share their personal experience about their tradition, their languages, and their personal experience of their own culture. Activities like group discussion and storytelling can be conducted with teachers, which can allow students to learn from one another. Eventually, they can also foster a mutual respect and understanding among each other. For example, in even small gestures, they can learn about small gestures like greeting students in their native language or even celebrating different cultural events, which can make a big difference in promoting inclusivity among our students. And the second point is adapting teaching methods to accommodate to the diverse needs. As mentioned, that we all know, we are aware that students uh, have different learning or diverse needs in learning, right? So in order to support diverse learners, teachers should adapt their teaching methods in order to cater to the different learning styles of our students. For example, we can use visual aids for students who are more towards visual aids, or maybe we can use auditory learners like video or what. Or we can also provide extra support for students who need an extra guidance in their education journeys. All right. So, in summary, teachers play a vital role in fostering an inclusive environment, in adapting their teaching to support all our students. So, by doing so, they can actually help create a respectful and engaging and also effective learning experience for every student. Okay, we've talked about the role of teachers in managing sociocultural diversity. Now, let's explore some strategies for effective multicultural teaching. So, how are we going to do an effective multicultural teaching? First of all, teacher can use culturally relevant teaching materials. So, one of the important strategy is using the culturally relevant teaching materials. What we can do, teachers can incorporate books, examples, or case study from different cultures in order to ensure the diverse perspectives are represented in the lesson. For examples, maybe a teacher can do or conduct a mini exhibitions of different cultures, like there's a booth for Orang Asli, booth for Malay, Chinese, and Indian. So all of these students can explain about their heritage. So when students see their backgrounds are being reflected in the PDPC or their educations, they can feel more valued and engaged. This will also help our students to develop a broader understanding of the world around them. Okay, and the second one is that promoting cooperative learning among diverse students. That is the another key strategy. So how are we going to conduct or encourage cooperative learning? What we can do is we can encourage group activities and teamwork, which allow our students from different backgrounds to collaborate and express ideas, exchange ideas, and learn from one another. So by actually working together, students can help build friendships. They can also break down all the cultural barriers that they have, and at the same time develop mutual respect among each other. This approach actually creates a more inclusive and supportive classroom environment. And last one is encouraging parental and community involvement. So a strong connections between schools, families, as well as the community is really important in order to enhance the multicultural educations. Schools should encourage parents from the diverse backgrounds to participate in the school activities. For example, when we do have the Hari Raya, maybe all the parents can support and come together so that hosting a community events or for example like cultural festival or even inviting guest speakers can provide more valuable opportunities for students to learn about the different cultures firsthand. Now these efforts can actually help create more supportive and inclusive learning environment. Moving on, let's look at the real life examples of a culturally diverse classroom and the strategy used to ensure inclusions and equity. So, the real life diverse classroom. In this classroom, students come from a different cultural, ethnic, and language, and even socioeconomic background. So, some students they're learning in a second language, while others they follow the unique traditions. And despite all of these, they still despite all of these differences, they still learn and grow together in the same environment that are thriving for better and success. So strategy used to ensure inclusions and equity. Of course, to support all students, teachers must implement several teaching approaches or strategies. For example, through language support, for example, through bilingual books or maybe some translation tools, and also can provide peer assistance in order to help our students who are still developing language skills. And next, we have the cultural celebration. So the classroom can organize some events whereby students can share their traditions, their music, heritage food, and which can actually promote more understanding and appreciations of their own heritage and background. Next one is flexible teaching methods. So teachers can use or employ several methods such as visual aids or maybe employ some hands-on activities and group work in order to accommodate to the different learning styles among the students. So this case study actually highlights some of the key takeaways that diversity makes learning more interesting and more meaningful to our students. When students understand and respect each other's cultures, and they will collaborate better and will eventually have more motivations to learn. That's why teacher plays a crucial role in fostering an inclusive environment where our students feel valued and supported. In conclusions, these all of these diverse classroom demonstrates that with the right strategies and the right approach, inclusivity can thrive, and every student can actually succeed in their educations. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, I beat to Adli. I am Siti Khalila bin Zulkarnain will present the next element, which is the role of technology in embracing diversity. So the first point is digital tools for inclusive education, where the technology plays a crucial role in fostering inclusivity in Malaysian classroom by catering to students with diverse learning needs. So, digital tools such as assistive technologies, for example, text-to-speech software, speech-to-text applications, and screen readers. These apps support students with disabilities, where it ensures equal access to learning materials. So, learning management system like Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams allow teachers to provide differentiated instruction, where accommodating students from various linguistic and cultural backgrounds. So, in Malaysia's education system now, the focus on inclusive education has intensified with the implementation of the zero reject policy, which aims to ensure that no child is left behind. So, including those with special needs and those from marginalized communities. Actually, digital tools help bridge gaps by providing personalized learning experience and promote equity in education. Next point, online resources for multicultural learning. So the availability of online educational resources enhance multicultural learning by exposing students to diverse perspective. So platform like YouTube, Coursera, and open educational resources provide access to lessons on global cultures, and then language and histories. Also, gamified learning apps such as Kahoot, Duolingo help students engage with different language and cultural practices in an interactive way. So, in Malaysia, the Malaysia Education Blueprint highlight the needs for the students to develop global competencies. With the country's diverse ethnic composition, where we have Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous communities, online resources facilitate cross-cultural understanding. Recently, digital libraries and e-textbook with multicultural content support the national curriculum's goal of fostering unity through education. So, by leveraging technology, Malaysia's education system continues to embrace diversity, where it ensures that students are equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to thrive in multicultural and interconnected world. Next element is addressing bias and stereotypes in education. The first point is identifying unconscious biases. So, unconscious biases are automatic, deeply ingrained attitudes that can influence teachers and students' perception of different cultures. races, and genders. So these biases may affect classroom interactions, their grading, and even curriculum content. So in Malaysian education, bias can sometimes be seen in the way certain ethnic or cultural groups are portrayed in textbook, or how students from different backgrounds are treated. So recently, efforts have been made to reduce bias in education by revising curricula to ensure fair representation of all ethnic groups in Malaysia. Teachers are also encouraged to undergo professional training to recognize and address their own biases. So, educational technology such as AI-driven analysis of teaching patterns and student interaction can help identify and mitigate bias in classroom. Okay, second point, strategies for promoting cultural sensitivity. So, promoting cultural sensitivity involve incorporating diverse perspective into lesson plans, encouraging discussions and cultural differences. Also, ensuring that school policies support inclusivity. So, in Malaysia, where the population consists of Malays, Chinese, Indians, and indigenous communities, um, cultural sensitivity is essential to fostering national unity. So, schools in Malaysia have begun integrating multicultural education into subjects like history, moral education, and civic studies. So, digital tools such as virtual reality (VR) experience allow students to explore different cultural traditions interactively. Additionally, recently, teacher training program emphasize culturally responsive teaching, where it ensure educators are equipped to handle diversity in the classroom effectively. So, by addressing bias and stereotypes through education, Malaysia aims and build more harmonious society where students appreciate differences and work together toward a united future. Okay, moving forward to the next element, which is the future of education in a diverse society, emerging trends in multicultural education. So, as societies become more diverse, education system must adapt to ensure inclusivity and cultural awareness. So, emerging trends in multicultural education include personalized learning, the integration of artificial intelligence, AI in adaptive teaching, and the use of digital storytelling to amplify diverse voices. So, schools are also embracing bilingual and multilingual to cater students from different linguistic backgrounds. So in Malaysia, recently, the Malaysia Education Blueprint continues to emphasize unity in diversity. So the use of digital platforms like Google Classroom and AI-powered learning helps tailor lesson to students from different cultural and language background. Additionally, the inclusion of indigenous and minority cultures in the curriculum ensures all communities feel represented. So, with increasing emphasis on blended learning, educators are integrating diverse cultural narrative into digital lessons, which promote mutual understanding among students. Okay, next point, the importance of continuous teacher training. So teachers play a very important role in shaping an inclusive and diverse learning environment. Hence, continuous professional development ensures educators stay updated on the best practices for managing diverse classroom. Other than that, to address bias and incorporating multicultural content effectively. So, training in cultural competency, inclusive teaching strategies, and digital tools help teachers create a more equitable learning experience. In Malaysia, teacher training programs are evolving to focus more on multicultural education. For example, the Institute Aminuddin Baki train institution now offers specialized courses on diversity, inclusive pedagogy, and technology enhanced teaching methods. So recently, Professional development for teachers includes workshop on integrating AI, data-driven, and strategies to promote inter-ethnic harmony in classroom. So by equipping educators with these skills, Malaysia aims to foster a more inclusive and effective education system. Okay, so the last element is teacher training and professional development. So the first point is the importance of diversity training for teachers. So diversity training is essential for educators to effectively manage multicultural classroom, address unconscious bias, and create inclusive learning environments. In a diverse society like Malaysia, where students come from different ethnic, linguistic, and religious backgrounds, teachers must be equipped with the skills to foster unity and mutual respect. So, the Ministry of Education has reinforced diversity training as part of teacher professional development programs. With this initiative, such as culturally responsive teaching workshop and inclusive education training, teachers are learning how to integrate multicultural perspectives into their lessons. Moreover, as a digital learning expands, educators are being trained to use AI driven tools to identify and address gaps in equitable learning experience. Okay, next point. The programs and resources for educators, professional development programs, and resources play a crucial role in equipping teachers with updated knowledge and skills. So, these include government-led training, university courses, online webinars, and international collaboration. So, online platform like From Asia, Google for Education, and Teach for Malaysia offer digital resources and training modules for teachers. So recently, Malaysia is investing in hybrid learning models where teachers can access self-paced courses on diversity, inclusion, and technology-enhanced teaching method. So in addition, collaboration with Asian and global education organization has enabled more exchange programs and cross-border teacher training opportunities. So by prioritizing diversity training, expanding professional development resources, and fostering lifelong learning, Malaysia's education system is strengthening its teachers' ability to navigate and thrive in a multicultural teaching environment. So this approach ensures that every student, regardless of background, receive an equitable and enriching learning experience. So the conclusion is socio-cultural diversity in education presents both challenges and opportunities. While differences in language, culture, and traditions may create barriers, they also enrich the learning environment by fostering critical thinking, creativity, and global awareness. So in Malaysia, diverse society, it is essential to ensure that schools become spaces of inclusion and equity, where students of all backgrounds feel valued and supported. So, teachers play a central role in this process by implementing inclusive teaching strategies, embracing diversity, and fostering cultural understanding. Malaysia continues to invest in teacher training programs such as culturally responsive teaching and continuous professional development (CPD), equipping educators with the skills needed to manage multicultural classrooms effectively. So schools and communities must collaborate to strengthen multicultural education through initiatives like Rukun Negara Club, digital learning platforms, and cross-cultural exchange programs. So a truly inclusive education system prepares students for success in an interconnected world. By encouraging diversity in schools, help students develop respect, empathy, and a global mindset qualities. So that are essential in Malaysia multiracial. So addressing cultural differences positively not only improve learning outcomes but also strengthens national unity. So moving forward, policymakers need to develop education policies that prioritize equity and multicultural education. So schools, teachers, families, and communities must work together to ensure that every student, regardless of their background, has equal opportunities to thrive. That's all from our group. Thank you.